Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna be telling you guys this. Oh god. Ooh. Hey guys, I'm back again with another video. Oh god, I am back after 2 months and a half, 3 months? I don't know. Last video I think I made was a New Year's makeup look, which was not good. It's horrible. And forget the fact I look crazy right now with my hair. My hair, for some reason this morning, was like,
nah fam, you're gonna look bad.
And yes, it was bad. It was really, really bad. It was a puffy mess. So I just got it up and it looks bad, but it's fine. It's fine. It'll work out. So anyhow, so if you guys don't want to listen about gross stuff like this, then I don't know why you guys are here. I mean, it says in the title, the frick. I'm trying not to cuss, by the way, but I can't promise anything. I probably will. So yeah, let's just get started with this very interesting video. So if you guys are as I title, you guys know what this video is about. And yes, it's gonna be talking about my first period. How did I come up with this idea? Because I had a very bad last period. This period, it just ended 2 days ago, I think. I don't know, yesterday? Something like that. I'm not even sure. But when it all started, it wasn't pretty. It progressed into something better. So right now, I'm in the okay zone. But yes, the whole process that took me up to here was not nice. And the first one was horrible. Hell, horrible, may I add. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. As I said, if you guys want to hear anything gross, ew.
Periods, even though it's natural, ew.
Why are you here? So let's get started with this. I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible, even though right now I already made it super long. So yes, let's go. So my first period. I'm gonna be telling you guys not just the first period, but the first time I wore a tampon, because that is also an interesting story, but not so long to make a video. So yeah, maybe call or two. Yes. Okay, so my first period, I got it when I was almost 10 years old. I was in 4th grade. Yeah, it was summer vacation. So I was almost about to turn 10, like in a month or so. And I remember I was back home, you know, here in the house and shit. But I already knew about periods and stuff just because my mom she kind of like introduced me to a whole topic. Mainly because I was curious of periods in general. I would always see the commercials on TV and shit talking about like
how amazing it is to wear these pads. They're not even feel like you're on your period. You can jump, you can swim, you can do this.
Well, not pads, tampons, but you get my point. You know, you could do everything and you wouldn't feel like you had a period. It seemed like periods were the best thing in the world. Of course, that was terribly wrong, of course. So I would always ask my mom about it or tell her, like, I can't wait to get my period. And she laughed in my face. With a good reason. So anyhow, yes, I already knew what periods were. I already knew what was going on. I already knew what was gonna happen, kinda, in a sense. So one day, yeah, back from school. This is a bit TMI, so yeah. I go to the bathroom, everything's good, and I pull down my panties, and there's blood. Not a lot, and it's not as bright as one would imagine blood to be, but it was sort of blood. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, this can't really be a period because, you know, its blood isn't like this. But then what is this, right? So I remember all calmly going downstairs and just saying,
Mom, is this my period?
And I just pull down a bit my pants and show her. And she first says, like, no, you can't be getting your period right now because, you know, I was young. But no, she looks at it and she's like,
I think you did.
She's like, okay, let's go upstairs. Let's go. Okay. You know, I'm like, oh, I think I got my period. Okay. So this is where the hell starts. So of course, I've always been a tiny girl. If you guys don't know, I weigh around 96 pounds, I think, 95 pounds. I haven't weighed myself in months, but the last time I weighed myself, I was like 94, 96 pounds. And I am 5'3", 5'4". So I'm small, tiny. And this happened when I was almost 10 years old. Let's say 10 years old, just round it up. I was 10 years old, right? So imagine this was 10 years ago. this whole process was 10 years ago. So I was much smaller, much tiny, much, everything. So the only thing my mom had were pads, because, pads. And they weren't normal pads. They were nighttime or overnight pads. I don't know what to call them. Nighttime pads? I don't know. So they're these huge ass freaking pads, like big, big and bulky. And I remember thinking, this is a freaking diaper. And it felt like one, may I add. So yeah, my mom kind of like through the door kind of taught me how to put it on. Put it on, and I'm like, oh god, this is the most uncomfortable thing in the world. It was so bad. It was horrible. Fine, fine. It was still summer vacation. I remember thinking about this and thinking, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna do anything, right? Yes. Yay. Woohoo. Well, it was all good, whenever I had to go out and stuff, during that. My first period actually lasted me, I believe, 5 days, something like that. It started slow. Like, not slow as in a small period of time. I've heard that they last, like, much longer for some girls on their first period, but for me, it was 5 days-ish. Nothing weird, right? It was good, nothing. Then school started. And around when school started, a little bit after, I got my period again, right? So this time I already knew what was, the whole process. And my mom actually bought me like decent sized pads for me, right? Oh, was it hell? Hell, because I wasn't used to the whole having my period at school. And this year, 5th grade, was when we were going to be talking about periods, the human body, stuff like that. This was the year that we were going to be talking about this. And according to what I remember, none of the girls in the classroom had had their periods yet. I was the only one. I had an accident in class the first time, I believe, because as I said, I wasn't really used to the whole like moving around, being not in my house when this is going on. So I remember I am sitting there wearing my pad, all good, and then out of nowhere I stand up, and if you're a girl, you know this feeling. TMI for guys, I'm sorry. But it's just a gush. Kind of like that? Yes, that's what I felt as I stood up. Luckily for me, our uniforms were reddish. It had other colors, but it was reddish. And it was a skirt. It was a dress. Some had dress, others were skirts. But it was basically a skirt. And it was red. So nothing happened, as in, if anything would have, nothing would have been seen. But I felt it. I felt that like, and at first in my head I'm thinking, this is a pad, right? Like, it's not gonna come out. I was wrong. I kid you not, wrong. This is still gonna be so ingrained in my brain because it was the worst moment of my life. Not really. It was just a bad moment. One of the worst. So I stood back down, and that's when I feel like this, like, damn, I'm sorry, but like, if I sat on a washcloth that was wet, obviously, and just like the squishing of it, kind of like the water dispersing out, that's kind of like what I felt when I sat down. Now I was first a bit confused. I was like, okay, this is weird. And then I believe it was lunchtime, or for whatever reason we got out of the classroom, I believe it was lunchtime. And I went to the bathroom, and for my surprise, my shorts and my undies were drenched. It was horrible. The only thought that was going through my head, what about my skirt? And yes, it was a bit damp on the back. But as I said, you couldn't really tell because of all the colored things that was going on in the skirt. And then I went back to the seat, and you couldn't really tell because the seat was like a dark blue. It was a plastic dark blue chair. So you couldn't really tell the color of it, but it was wet. You can tell that it had some type of liquid per se on it. Not a bunch, but that something was wet. Oh God, I almost started crying because in my head, everyone knows what just happened. I just bled through everything. Now, I remember I just started crying. The teacher came in, asked me what was wrong, and I, told her what happened. And she just took me outside. She's like, oh, don't worry, you're fine, it's fine. So I believe she took me back to the bathroom, and she just told me to take off my shorts, and she was gonna wash them a bit and just let them dry a little bit in one of the closets in the room. And then after school would end, I could put them back on. So I did that. And she just rolled some paper. She told me to roll some paper on my underwear like that, and then put another pad on top. and I was good to go. So that was probably the worst experience I had. I wouldn't say that was my first period experience, but it was, the second period. And yeah, it was not pretty. It was not nice. It was but as I said, it went downhill after that because as the years passed, my periods started to get longer and longer and longer. So currently, I don't know if you guys wanted to know that, obviously not, but my period lasts around 7 to 9 days. Usually around the eighth day is done, but the ninth day is still something, but 7 to 9 days. So, but so before that, I think it lasted around 12 days, something like that, and then I had sex for the first time. And it went down to 7 to 9 days. So, yay. Woohoo. I didn't know that could happen, but hey. So, yeah, that was horrible, and I get horrible cramps, and I bleed way too much. TMI, but yes, a tiny girl like me loses a bunch of blood. A surprise, I haven't fainted yet, which I feel sometimes, but we good. So, yeah. So last but not least, the first time I wore a tampon. Oof. Currently, I wear tampons, by the way. So yes, lifesaver for moi. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, and a lot of people are like, horrible for you. But I wear them because they're more comfortable, and I started wearing them around the time where I used to dance at school. But I used to dance, so it was much more comfortable for me to wear a tampon instead of pads because of the dancing and the stretching and everything. It was much more comfortable. I remember it was so like, oh my god, I can't wear a tampon, this is wrong, right? Because a lot of people say, you can't wear a tampon if you're a virgin and stuff, right? Well, I was like, I need to wear one. And I remember I was in my mom's room and I was just laying down on the floor, and I'm like, Ma, can I ask you something? She's like, yeah. I'm like, do you think I could try to wear tampons? And I was like, oh my god, she's probably gonna say no. Like, I was scared. She's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, ooh. Okay. So I think we went to the pharmacy either that day or the next or something like that, and she bought me tampons. And I'm like, okay. The first of all, what I did, I went to YouTube to see if there was any type of explanation of how to put them on, because I read the instructions and I'm like, I'm still so confused. I'm more of a visual aid rather than reading. Yeah, I need that like actual demonstration, even though not the actual demonstration, but at least someone kind of like telling me, I need that to listen to it and to view what's going on. So I saw a video of a girl just, explaining a little bit how tampons worked. Like, okay, I think I understand now. So I went to the bathroom and put it on the first time. Painful as fuck because I put it on wrong. Wrong as in I left part of it out. It was probably the most uncomfortable I've ever felt, because first of all, I thought it's in, good. What I didn't realize is that I didn't put it on in completely. So they said part of it was out, but not completely. I don't know how to demonstrate it without getting too graphic, but it was not fully in, as I said. Like, you couldn't see that it was out, but it wasn't fully in. Yes. I don't know how to explain this. But anyhow, so it was uncomfortable. I felt some dry, the dry of the cotton just rubbing against me, and it was horrible. It was painful. And I said, something's wrong, because, I've heard a lot of people say, like, you don't feel it, obviously. So I'm like, this is wrong. I'm obviously feeling it. So I took it out, which was more painful than I would have imagined, because it was just a dry cotton. It didn't have blood on it yet. It didn't have anything. So I only left it for like a little bit. And because it wasn't really fully in, it only had like on the top, but not really on the side. So it was a dry cotton just coming out of me. It was painful. So painful. My eyes started to tear up so badly. And I thought to myself, this is either I'm putting it on wrong, or I'm never in my life using another tampon, because this is horrible. So finally I said, second time, I need to do it again. So this time I actually just shoved it right in. I'm like, this needs to go all the way in. And I did. And then I pushed it. But again, part of it still came out. I didn't know in the moment what I was doing wrong. So what I did, so I was like, I'm not going to waste another one. I just pushed it in. And again, it was painful, but I pushed it in until I couldn't really feel it. And But then now my scaring of it was that, oh God, I've heard that if you can forget that you have it in, and I've somehow somewhere I heard a story of a girl who left one in, forgot she had one in, and put another one in, so now she had two in her and she didn't know. So my thought was that, but now that I realize, I'm pretty sure I can tell when I have one in. But somehow that I got traumatized by it. I'm like, I cannot forget I have one in. So that was my story with my first time wearing tampons. And since then, I've been wearing tampons since 11th grade. And right now, I'm on my third year of college last semester. So next semester, I'm starting my fourth year. Whew, wow, it's been a while. And yes, it's still awful as it is. So yeah, guys, this is a very long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed, had a laugh, something of this, and yes. Yeah. Uh, that is pretty much it. So, if you guys want to hear any other type of like interesting stories, because I do have several interesting stories of firsts, things, I don't know. Let me know, and I'll probably make a video out of it. So, yeah, because I ran out of ideas super quickly. The only type of ideas that I actually have are K-pop related. And I know a lot of people don't really like K-pop. I mean, a lot of people like K-pop, but not a lot of people like K-pop, if that makes any sense. So, yes. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, guys. And, yes, bye. I'm so weird. I don't even know how to do an outro anymore. Outro? Yeah, whatever.